nice front and back, leader's garment. Quite happy.
It's alright, isn't it? Looks pretty good in that bad boy.
Excellent. I think the word you're looking for is... Look at that thing. Looks beautiful. Done. Beautiful.
Now, only if you're ready for this.
Welcome back to the OTV podcast. We're back here again to talk World Championships. It's just been and gone. Most likely, I would say most of our listeners in New Zealand didn't see it because, fuck me, what a nightmare to even find it to watch it. Thank you, UCI, for that one. I don't know what went down, but apparently halfway through the live stream on YouTube, it just quit and disappeared. So it seems like it was a good show. I ended up watching it through some dodgy link that our co-host Lester Perry sent. So it's all right. We got there eventually. If you haven't found it, fire us a DM and I'm sure we can link you up with it. Joining me back in the co-host seats, as always, Red Dog. Welcome back, mate.
G'day. Happy to be here. And I didn't have any trouble watching it.
Yeah, it's because you used a VPN.
And no trouble.
Yeah. All right, I got to get on that. And Chris Vanderkop. Welcome back, Chris.
Hello, lovely to be here. I had plenty of trouble watching it, so much so that all I saw was the minute 45 UCI recap, but somehow managed to get through to Tuesday without seeing the results. So good result on one hand, terrible on the other. Yeah.
Well, that's a feat because it's only Monday while we record that. So it's good that you haven't seen the results yet. I kind of actually wish that you'd just come in with zero knowledge. I think that would have been more amusing.
That's every week though, Kerry. That's how it is.
Yeah,
you usually come in with no knowledge.
I was really hoping that you were going to come in and still hadn't seen the results, and I was just going to make up some random winner. But yeah, that's
well.
right.
It would have been as surprising as the actual winner.
It wouldn't have been.
It's true.
I would like to just give the listeners a peek behind the curtain. So, in the lead up to this race, 3/4 of the co-hosts were on holiday. Two were more concerned about the snowfall. One was more concerned about sipping cocktails by the pool. And then when the race had been and they were looking for a replay, they were more concerned about getting the bloody commentary for the men's road race going than actually watching the downhill. It was an absolutely appalling show.
I wasn't interested in the road race at all.
You're
or the cyclocross.
You had other issues.
I told you I only watched 5 minutes of the road racing while I went for a shit because I found it on Sky Go because it said mountain bike world championships, and then when I went into it, it was actually road world championships.
Oh, and you were stoked, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was pumped. But hey, before we get into the world championship side of things, did you guys see the new rhythm goggle that Smith launched a couple of weeks ago?
I have.
Should we give some away? They're a fantastic goggle.
Can I have it?
No, you can't. But we'll give.
If it's free, it's for me, Red Dog.
It's the podcast motto. Well, why? I mean, I haven't actually even cleared this with Smith yet, but I'm sure they'll give us some to give away. So let's give some away anyway, because we've got to give some to a lucky listener to try out. Red Dog, got an idea for a competition?
I got a great idea for a competition. So, something that's very dear to our hearts. We'd like to hear your best, very nice, the iconic line from Earth One. You got to hit the link, and is it in the Instagram bio, Kerry?
Yep, speak pipe.
Get on that speak pipe. What do we need? We need their Instagram handle. So you got to stay there at the start, or actually, when you input a name, just put some way to contact you. Say it's.
Put your Instagram handle in there.
For marketing or something, I don't know.
Yeah, or your fax number.
Yeah, my phone accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Nathan Rennie, if you call in, Nathan, we'll just give you the set of goggles straight up. That's fine.
That would be great.
Will be the winner.
That's a hell of a deal, right? Like, you've just got to leave a voice message for the podcast and you get arguably some of the best eyewear on the market today.
It's so easy. It couldn't be easier because they'll be listening on their phone, no doubt, while they're listening to this. Then they can just swipe on across to Instagram and get it out of the bio. You got a Smith product of the week, Chris? You got anything to hit us with?
I do actually have. I've got a couple of Smith products of the week. speaking of holidays, as Red Dog mentioned, I was at the snow over the weekend. And I, honourable mention, I was getting about in my my Smith squads.
Oh, yeah.
I think they are. Yeah, my squads.
Great choice.
I really like. Yeah, I was wearing them on both bright light days and low light days, and the lenses performed excellently.
Chroma pop coming in clutch.
That was exactly it, and fuck, I looked good too. But over on the mountain bike side, I've got a couple of favourite products of the week. The Forefront 2, which everyone will remember is for the first foray that Smith had into mountain bike helmets, and quite an innovative style and design. I think it's gotten better with age, which is excellent. And the glass is the Vert Pivlock, which is quite an aggressive style.
Okay.
Listeners will appreciate that the OTP podcast dabbles in a bit of XC, so quite a good goggle for your XC and also your trail riding. Then when I get off the bike, Garen, and I'm at the pub having a beer.
You still wear the same things?
I'm sweaty, really sweaty, but I like to switch out for the outcome sunnies, which listeners who remember downhill from sort of your mid-2000s went through a phase where everyone was wearing wireframe glasses.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
With them. That sort of style, that era. So,
good.
Throwing it back to the old school.
Good. And while they're at it, matching up with Smith, how could you go any better than Troy Lee Designs? And troyleedesigns.co.nz, if you bang in that OTB podcast code at checkout, save yourself 15%, knock that GST off the top, and get yourself some nice trail riding kit. I reckon is a good time of year for that. Or maybe a nice new D4 helmet. It's a lot of options there.
I was actually just Kerry looking at the product range with Troy Lee recently. Have you got any experience with the Flowline short sleeve jersey?
I do have a Flowline short sleeve jersey. Fantastic
Good
option.
styling.
Yeah.
Good styling.
Yeah. Fantastic option.
Good. Right. Wow.
That's enough of talking about our fantastic show supporters. What about world champs? I mean, Red Dog hit the nail on the head. We could have made up someone that would have been just as surprising as the person who actually won, but fuck, what a ride from Charlie Haddon. That was incredible.
It was, if you just looked at the results, which I think Chris pretty much did and then called it a day, you would have heard that maybe it was a wet race and seen Charlie Hatton at the top and thought, oh yeah, no, he's got a mint track and it's been a stitch up, but that was absolutely not the case, eh?
Definitely not. He rode in just as shit conditions as everyone else, so that was full deserved. I mean, pretty much I would say the only person in the top 10 that I reckon had maybe marginally better conditions was Greg Williamson, but pretty much the rest, because he went real early.
Yeah.
But everyone else that was up there rode in some pretty shitty conditions, so it was there was no one got a gimme at this race for sure.
The 15 seconds that I caught in the UCI wrap-up coverage, he was on a different level, eh? And I got to say, that Atherton bike, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, he came blasting in, like in the live coverage when he comes into the woods, like he is just rapid, like he is hauling, and he was looking good. But did you guys know that his mechanic's actually a Kiwi? So
I do, because you put it in the show notes.
Yeah, his mechanic Ben
But
Oakley is.
otherwise.
Well, his mechanic Ben Oakley is. He was a downhill Grom from Nelson, and now he's over there working for Charlie, and just got himself some rainbow mechanic stripes.
Oh, that's good.
So it was pretty cool.
How does that come about?
Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe we'll have to do put him in the hot seat towards later in the year. Find out some inside tips.
Idea.
Can we get him to just leave a message on the voicemails via SpeakPipe? Just let us know how it came about.
He is a listener.
Any insights from the race?
Yeah, he is a listener. He gave me a couple. I messaged him yesterday to say congratulations, and we got had a few little back and forths. He said he reckons he wore out all his fingernails while he was just stressed at the bottom of the hill waiting. But no, it was a great result. But I reckon before we go too deep into it, speaking of great results, how about the junior woman? Holy shit, that was incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
You love to see it. That is absolute domination. That is safety for the future with those three.
It's impressive to see because, like, we've obviously had some. There was a big shortage after Scarlett won Worlds in 2004, but then we had Jenna win last year, And then, but it's only kind of been like one comes through every now and then. But man, to sweep the podium, that was impressive stuff. And then there's even there's a couple of girls who are still a bit younger who aren't at that point yet, who are sort of around that same sort of level. So we've got some good talent coming through.
What do you reckon's bring that about, Kerry? Because, I mean, you can't really say the same for the men's field, but the women, I mean, it's pretty incredible.
I don't know. It's really hard to say, but it seems like there's like a good kind of group of them that are all pushing each other and they're all real into it. Like if you were a girl coming through and there's pretty much, you're racing one other person or something, the motivation's going to be pretty low. But when there's a group of them that are real good like that, it's probably helping. So I think that's probably a good part of it.
I mean,
probably because they want to go racing and they can't be fucked with Instagram like all the boys.
Maybe they're too busy just actually sending it.
Yeah,
there is quite a good number of them, especially at the national level. I noticed the last couple of years, the national champs and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I was really impressed with the number of girls that are involved now. Like I remember, much like you, Kerry, back in my prime, man, it was really slim numbers in the junior women. Like you'd be struggling to fill a podium.
Yeah, there'd be two or
but
three.
Now I don't know where it's come from. Whether there's been a specific push to get more women into the sport, or if it's just become more accessible through, I don't know, the right pathways with schools or things like Word and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if you'd give, this might be a little bit out of line. I don't know if you give that much credit to Bike NZ for making it happen.
No.
No.
I think
I would give them very little credit.
I'd give them zip. Yeah. It's the other.
That's got to be
done it.
like you say, Kieran, like a group of mates, all pushing each other, supportive parents, and probably a couple of really good scenes around the country. Like Eris Van Leeuwen, do you guys remember she had that video that came out years ago? Like she had Jackson Goldstein.
On a 16-inch shooting on Mount Vic.
Just tearing it.
Yeah, I've been following her on Instagram since then because I was like, holy shit, this girl is insane. Like, she was ripping on that thing, and lo and behold, I mean, it's probably been a few years now, but here she is, world champ. So it's pretty cool. But then Poppy Lane surprised me. This was her first world, she hasn't done any World Cups or anything like that prior to this, and turns up at World Champs and qualified second, finished second. It was that was impressive stuff too.
Bit of a statement for sure. I don't know how you'd go from never doing an international level event to getting second. That's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And then obviously Sasha Ernest, we saw her win the last World Cup at Val di Sole, so she was pretty much one of the people you should pick for a good result. So, but man, for all three of them to just come through and smash it, that was awesome.
I heard that Sasha was on a different bike.
Yeah, she was on a...
she was on a Trek.
Yeah, Trek. I don't know what happened.
Was it like after practice maybe even? Like I don't
think
know
it
what
was,
happened,
because I'm pretty sure I saw her on a transition at some point during the weekend.
So that's even more impressive. Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, like she must have broken a bike or something and had to just jump on whatever was available and still pull through for
those
her.
Transitions have had a warranty recall.
Maybe that's what's happened.
Like the chainstay or something with the heat treating. They've had to recall them.
You mean those frames or just that brand?
Those frames.
Just the frames. The brand's still out there under warranty. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if there was much to talk about in the junior men's. Honestly, I didn't really see any results, so we'll probably just move on. In terms of the Kiwis, anyway.
The only thing I'd like to note is we were looking down the barrel of yet another Kiwi linkage to a world champion with old Pinkerton, Horse's guy.
Yes,
qualifying first, and by all accounts was the guy to beat.
They might have
and I don't know if he just became intimidated with the 2006 world champion right there.
Some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, but he went down in practice, and I saw a photo of him that I think Eddie had snapped off the lift, and he looked like there'd been a bomb had gone off. Like his jersey's like torn off him and stuff. Like he's absolutely obliterated.
He's gone down and
So,
right
yeah.
in front of the 450 moto, and he's just been run over by 40 dudes on dirt bikes.
Oh yeah, man, it looked real bad. So that's disappointing for Horse though. It would have been awesome for him to get a world champ under the tent.
Hey, so I just whipped up the junior men's results, and first thing I noticed is year of birth. They're all 2005, 2006.
I'm looking at year of birth and elite right now. I'm like, what the fuck?
I raced my first world champs as a junior in 2005.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
I was literally just looking at the year of birth and the
Oh,
elite,
God.
and I've gone down to 12th and gone 2003.
Fuck.
Who the fuck was born? And Ocean O'Callaghan's born 2003,
God.
and he's 12th at World Champs.
And meanwhile, Greg Menard won a World Cup title in 2003, and he's still there.
Well, yeah, it's actually
It was
the
01,
year of
mate.
birth.
It was 01.
Yeah, Greg Menard
It was
is
01. He also won
1964.
won World Champs in 03.
Yeah, they've
Jesus.
just got an NA next to Greg's year of birth.
It's beyond before.
We've
Be
got
here
actually,
before
guys.
now.
We've got Johan Potgeier.
Jeez, yeah, he's been
from
around a while.
RSA,
Yeah.
1987.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's still there.
Pinkerton was
Actually,
born
shout
right
out.
before Horse won world champs in 06.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
that's
I
insane.
think there should be a category at Worlds in the elite class, like a sort of a special class within a class for anyone born in the 80s.
Like a vintage class, but it's a vintage rider.
Yes. Well, that's masters.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to ride that old body down the hill.
And actually, in fairness, big shout out on that one. Blenki won the 80s class,
Oh.
so that's good.
Go on, Blinky, that's good. So he was the
Blinky wins the 80s class.
first person in the 80s, born in the 80s. Oh, man.
Yes. Top ranked 1980s rider.
Jesus Christ. What has this come to?
That is
That's
depressing,
insane.
That is so depressing.
Hey, he's still racing. We've got a podcast.
I know. That just makes us all feel real old, though. Oh, man. Speaking of the 2000s, Valley Hull, born in 2001. At least she's slightly older. But that's back-to-back world championships for her, right?
What a savage.
Back to back.
She's come in form this year. Like, she's definitely worked it out, I think, finally. Like, that speed's been there in the past, but there's been a lot of hitting the deck, and yeah, she put in a pretty good result. 2 seconds up on Cammy's no joke.
Yeah, she.
I don't think she's going to stop.
No.
I think she's just going to continue this march.
I think it's Valley's world.
It's just another level.
They're all living in it.
It looks
Yeah.
different. Like when you see her on the bike compared to the other girls, it's a different level of
She's-
like aggression and pace.
Yeah, I was going to say aggressive.
She's so much
like
more
aggression.
physical.
Yeah. She gets in there. But it was it's interesting, like if you actually look at the times from the race, Cammy's 2 seconds back, 2.02. Marine is 2.36, so those two are super close. And then part-time Kiwi, Louise Ferguson, in 4th place. Awesome result for her. She's 9.7 seconds back. So there's a 7.5 second gap from 3rd to 4th, and then it kind of tightens up again. Phoebe Gale, and then Tani. Did you guys see Tani's crash that I shared?
Oh, my
What was she
God,
doing
that was
over there?
Yuck.
There's a long way. That's like very far right.
I
Like,
don't know
what are
what
you
she was doing.
That far right.
Oh, it
That was a
looked dirty.
horrible looking
Like,
crash.
oh.
There's
Not
been
good.
there's been some big like crashes and stuff from that Scotland arch down over the years. Like Neil Donahue went over the bars in 2007 at World Champs on that Scotland arch jump. Like he just
Oh yeah.
ATB.
Remember George got destroyed as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Manar went down one year at the bottom, that G out, like after that
Yeah.
arch, and they dropped down. That used to be way rougher and harsher, and he went down at the bottom of that, like in the global orange years, like what years ago.
Kieran, like,
remember
if
this-
almost died. Like, if he had crashed,
Oh, there
he
was
would have won, but he would have never raced again.
Yeah, he would just about went out the front door on those last couple of jumps. I'm pretty sure, who was it? Rory Cunningham at World Champs in 07. He just about looked it out over the back of it over that last jump.
Yeah.
Because
Gary, you've raced it.
Yeah.
How fucking rapid are you going through that bottom section? Because it used to be the four cross track as well, right? That you land into the boom.
You landed in the end of the four cross track essentially, but you're going fast, but you're also just absolutely fucking cooked because that track is so physical for a start, and you're like, I don't know, 4 minutes deep at that point, and then you've just sprinted that motorway section, so you're just like anaerobic. And then that Scotland Arch jump's always been, I mean, it used to be kind of pretty marginal, the kicker on it. And it was like, you came off that and then you kind of down, and they had like some kind of logs across the track almost that had little drops, like little steps in it.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty physical down there, but it's always the most insane, like it was always the best race I've done, I reckon, in terms of fans and stuff, because it is mental down the bottom of there. Like that place just packs out for a fairly small place that's miles away from anywhere. It goes off. It's pretty cool.
Gary, if you went back and raced, say next year, do you think you'd have a bigger fan base than when you last raced there?
I don't know.
Like, would you have anyone standing in the crowd with a placard saying?
I don't know if I had any.
KB?
I don't know if I had any fan base when I was last there in 2009, and I don't think that would have grown through 2023. So
some of the dads that have gone over with the junior kids, they've been pretty big fans.
That's true. Me and the dads do vibe. It's the dads that I hang out with most at downhill races these days because, we're in basically similar age.
Are you going to get the call up for the travelling coach?
Well, Lewis Hamilton actually went this year.
Yeah,
was that his role as well as racing? Did he race?
No, Lewis didn't race. He went over as junior coach basically. He went over and helped out all the juniors. So we could probably credit him for that. Probably credit him for that podium sweep in juniors.
Yeah, great work.
That obviously worked.
Great work. Rachel Atherton as well. She dislocated her shoulder and then still started. Like I'm out on that.
That's gnarly.
As a guy who's done that before, I ain't starting that track with a bung shoulder.
And she had to get Nina to help put it back in.
Yeah, I know. Stood on her hand or something.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm out. I'm out.
Shit's so gnarly.
Gnarly.
Can you imagine as well, like just for it to pop out like that, not in a crash, just in a
landing a jump.
And then to drop in, she would have just been sitting there going, "It's gonna go.
Yeah,
it's gonna go."
I've had it come out without a crash before. It's real weird.
Grim.
In a corner, it was just like it just came out of the socket.
Has she done shoulders before?
Yeah, multiple.
So.
She's had big shoulder issues over the years.
I think she might have even had surgery at one point.
Yeah, she did. I think she missed a season with shoulder. I'm pretty sure 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember who dropped a name into the group chat, calling them for the win last week? Was that
for the men's?
Was that Laurie Greenland that I said? I threw it in there.
You probably did.
Where are you going? Where are you leading us?
What kind of a Santa Cruz athlete would you be if you didn't?
Well, nah, I could have picked anyone, but I looked at last year's results and I threw it out there that Laurie was going to win, and god damn it, he nearly did it. It was a pretty good run. I reckon he made a couple of little mistakes down the bottom, but he was flying.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Only a few mistakes, but I think in the wet it's just not like you just couldn't. It's too slow, like especially down the bottom when it got flat. Anything little, just such a speed killer.
Yeah, a guy like Laurie, it's got to be harder for him to make up or keep speed on things like the motorway.
Well,
just is that much smaller, right? Like
where I reckon he lost a chunk was kind of towards the end of the trees, and they hit that left-hand berm and then went over a metal bridge, and that goes into this real punishing gradual uphill, which is kind of like quite hard carry speed, and he made a bit of a mistake in that turn and sucked a lot of his speed and a lot of his momentum out going up there, and I reckon that's kind of what killed any potential. But yeah, obviously that end is just brutal too.
I
That's
have a
one of the
comment.
few bits of footage I actually saw, and Charlie Hatton absolutely smashed that corner. He looked so rapid through it.
Did you see?
Slayed those
And that's where,
turns.
like,
Did you see Matt
I
Walker
didn't see
smash
Matt
it with
Walker's
his head?
crash.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit, that was
I
douchey.
mean, I hope he's okay, but I want to see that because I watched the Cathro update on it, and
Oh.
he's talking about what he did.
it's-
He's pretty much pushed the front, gone into the river.
It's as
That sounds
bad
horrible.
as you think missing a bridge with your front wheel would go. Like,
Yeah.
And it's like
At
a
full
steel
commitment.
grated bridge as
he
well.
doesn't
It
touch the
looks
bridge. He
heinous.
just misses the bridge, and he just hits the other side of the bank with his head, like straight to his peak, pretty
it's
much.
dirty.
It's
It's
gross.
real dirty.
Oh, that's horrible.
It was good that he actually got up from that because I was like, "Poor boy, this is
Yeah,
not
I thought
looking
it was
good."
not going to be good here. Yeah.
But he's
With the motorway, there was quite a distinction between, I think, especially because it was wet. Some people would tuck and others would pedal, and I think the tuck option in the wet was diminishing returns. I don't think it was rolling quick enough to tuck.
nah. It got slower and slower, I reckon, as the day went on.
Yeah.
When you look at like the splits, basically like the last couple of splits on the course, none of the top guys had like a top 5 time on those splits. Because I think it got boggier and boggier as it went.
It would have to, though,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's raining pretty consistently, and you put 50 people down there, or 30 people down there. Like, it's all the moisture's going to come to the top of the track. Even though it drains quickly,
Yeah.
it's still going to get softer and slower.
Well, the top half of the track is good because the top half is basically like just hard packed gravel. So when that's wet and bedrock. So when it's wet, it's awesome. Yeah. It's actually better than in the dry because it's got heaps of traction, and like you could see guys weren't holding back on it. You know, like there's a few sections in there where you can see like it's that real black, greasy mud, but for the bulk of that, it is just still push wide open, like just as fast as you want to go. And then you get into the trees, and obviously that's just mega slippery for everyone. Everyone's kind of tiptoeing their way through there. A couple of guys could kind of send it a bit, but yeah, and then you got into that bottom and it just got slower and slower because that stuff just got boggy.
It looked like the woods held up better than it had in, what was it, a couple of years ago, where it was just a fucking quag.
It looked very rideable still. It was slippery, but it wasn't like just, you know, there was no... They'd kept it rideable enough so that even though it got real slippery, you know, you could still get through the whole thing and you weren't like fucked if you went minutely offline or anything like that. So I think they did a pretty good job there.
Quite a few people crashed in there though, eh? Like,
people were pushing
came in
it.
on the attack and it was going to get you.
T-Bone
like,
Umbrellas one into the rocks.
Yeah.
That didn't look
Yeah,
very
that
fun.
was a dirty one for sure.
He was on
Then
one
Bernard,
too.
I think, crashed in there as well.
Yeah, Bernard had a pretty good crash in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some people definitely lost the race in there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's actually quite interesting just looking at the splits. Like Danny was 8th at the last split and then goes back to 11th purely just in like the last 30 seconds of track. So there was a few people that kind of just went backwards then. Maybe he was one of the tuckers.
I think he might have been. Yeah, he might have been actually. It never worked out. Like I think there was a couple of guys where they'd be in touch and then they'd drop like a second and a half almost because they'd tuck, not pedal. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. I think, it's definitely way too slow for that.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually got a speak pipe, but I never queued it up from after our last episode. And his name I think was Octo Dad. I thought we should do.
I thought we covered. Have we not covered the Octo Dad?
Nah, but I don't know. Maybe we haven't. Maybe we have.
No, we haven't.
Nah, we haven't. But he thought we should be doing some sort of lit kit, style thing. I don't know whether lit kit's already been taken or not, but we can talk about who had the best kit. And I think it was pretty much an OTB unanimous decision that Laurie's entire blue kit and bike combo was the winner of the day, of the weekend.
I think all the syndicate kits looked good. And
It
that's
was
saying something because I thought before they were heinous.
It was a real turnaround from Fox. They came in at the
it was
11th hour.
They've done a 180.
Yeah.
Did you notice that they just replaced all the riders' names with giant Fox logos?
They did still have their names, eh? I noticed this later. I almost backtracked. They had like their own signature, I think, down their leg.
Is that
But
what
it
that was?
way smaller.
I never looked that closely.
I think
at
it
that.
was,
I wondered
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
There you go.
But the bikes look good and the kit looked good.
It looks so clean.
You
just
kinda
that
couldn't
whole
fault it.
setup. Pretty good.
I gotta say, I respect it when a Kiwi guy turns up just in a full black kit, like Blenki's kit was.
I did like that he had a silver bike.
Yeah, I
the
like
silver
Blake's
bike looked
kit,
good.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
The New Zealand
I
colours
mean, I
suck
don't-
for world champs, so you just can't do anything with it. It's just black.
I don't think you need to.
Maybe
See,
someone
this
needs
is,
to go.
don't make me
Yeah.
this rant again. I'll wheel it out again, but like, stop with your whatever you feel like dressing your bike up like.
Nah, maybe
I don't care
Maybe,
if your favourite cartoon character is Bart Simpson. You don't make it yellow, blue, and orange. Like it's country based. It's the world champs. Just make it black if you're from New Zealand. Who cares?
what about? Well, I was going to say,
I'm
what
with-
about some
I'm with you
silver
on this one,
pants?
Dog.
That was all I was getting to. Run some silver pants.
Oh, it's fine. Like you can write like if it's representative of New Zealand, that's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm not down with the like my bike model's a Ferrari or whatever that bullshit is, and
Nah,
like,
I'm out.
it's got to be world. It's got to be country color themed. It's not just a place to show up with a themed bike for no reason.
No, and
I'd
that's
like to
why
see Kiwi
Syndicate
team
got it
just
right.
turn up with all silver.
What was that, Chris?
I'd just like to see the Kiwi team turn up with silver.
Yeah.
Silver's our national colour. It's far more interesting than black.
Yeah, the black jerseys are pretty boring.
The national champion jersey was white for a while, wasn't it? Is it still?
It was white when I had it. It's black. No, it was black when I had it, and then it went to white later on.
Did we ever
And
race world champs in white? I don't reckon we did, eh?
Nah, it's only ever been black.
Yeah.
But we've had some cool like black and white jerseys in the past, like with big ferns across the
Yeah.
front of them. I'm sure.
I
we
think
can.
they should go deeper on black and silver. I'm down with
Yeah,
that. It's a
that'd
good
be
colour.
Yeah, I agree.
I,
Kind of like an Alpine Stars Honda G Cross.
Yeah.
kit. Remember the one
Yeah,
that Rick had?
that's-
All
That's
black and
right.
chrome.
Give me that. Yeah.
I just like
Can
how
we put a request in to Bike NZ to make that?
they're a listener, I think.
I think they are.
I like
they,
how,
as in
the,
one person.
I like how the jerseys, the team or the country jerseys always have like quite a random sponsor. Like we obviously have Torpedo 7. Like the British one had Shell, which I think is a pretty big move. Like Shell's a big company. They must be pumping some money in.
Hasn't
And
there
then
been
like
some
Andreas
drama around
Kolb's
Shell?
one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a heap of drama around greenwashing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
Taking
then
the money.
I like how Andreas Kolb
Then-
they had Felt as their like the bike company
Like
as
the
a
bike
sponsor on
brand.
on the Austrian one. It's so good. It's like there's just conflicts all over the shop.
It's great. I'm pretty sure we had Bush Road salads back in the day. The iconic times of Bush Road salads.
Absolutely fantastic.
What was the in the granola bar?
Oh,
brand? What were they called?
Nature Valley.
Nature Valley. Yeah,
You had to eat
so
them.
dry.
You had to eat them with like a glass of milk. It was like eating
Oh.
Weet-Bix. Oh,
But
man.
hey, Nature Valley, if you're listening.
Great
we would
company. Great
yeah,
company.
you're great. Yeah. And Bush Road salads, they still around?
I don't know, but I'm definitely down for some salads. Maybe Taylor Farm. I'm down with the Taylor Farm salad.
Yeah, we could.
We've gone so far off base so
If it's
quickly.
free, it's for me. Great companies.
I've got a bone to pick with Torpedo 7 actually.
All right.
On
The
that.
floor is yours.
So, thank you very much. If you're listening, Stephen Tyndall, be better.
Great company, though.
So, yeah, great company.
If they're interested in sponsoring a mountain bike podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've taken the good step, the positive step of sponsoring Bike NZ and the national series and everything, and presumably they're pumping a bit of money into that. But they've got so much, they've got a lot of sway in New Zealand, a massive PR team. Those three young women should be fucking national heroes by now. And where's the coverage? It's just terrible. That's my rate. Be better, Torpedo 7. Be advocates for our sport, not just
They could be
Thanks very
pushing that so hard and making it
Hell yeah.
valuable for
much.
themselves.
It's a massive asset for them.
And and the cycling industry, but no, they just push some money in and give them a contract. And
So I've got another idea on that sort of in that realm, because I think one of the issues that we're facing in New Zealand is that the sport, or the World Champs is not very well covered in New Zealand. Obviously, the coverage issues itself is one thing, but the media don't really get behind it as well as they could.
No.
Got a sort of a token.
only road and track.
The World Champs. But who, Kerry, is New Zealand's leading media group for mountain biking in New
The
Zealand
OTB podcast
right now? Exactly.
The-
Who better positioned
I'm pretty sure
to bring
it's
it to the people?
I'm pretty sure it's the classic old and shit mountain bikes page that Tim McKenzie runs on Facebook.
That is definitely a leading. Or is it?
That's
Vaughan?
where I get most of my info from, and I'm pretty sure it's up to date.
So I think we need a pitch like a dual pitch to Bike NZ, the UCI, and kind of TVNZ to deliver the media package for the New Zealand public about the World Champs. I don't know how we'll do it. It's complex. There'll be
Maybe we can
pretty
end up
easy
on
negotiations that we'll get
on
through,
like
but
stuff as a podcast on stuff.
that's where we're headed.
That sounds great.
Yep. New Zealand's top ranked mountain bike podcast, bringing you World Champs 2024.
Oh, I forgot to add that into the start. New Zealand's original and still the best. Damn it. That's right.
We're screwed now.
We'll get it on the next one,
Yeah,
just in case you hadn't heard it there.
Yeah. You edit that one in and post.
Yeah. We're doing it live.
At a minimum, alternate commentary, World Champs 2024.
Do you think we could maybe put a pitch in that we can be the selectors for the national team next year? Yes, that's great. And we could do it as some sort of competition where our fans vote riders in.
That is going so
choice.
poorly. That's going so poorly.
I'll be
really
back in the
awkward
team.
when Rankin gets selected for the world's team.
Yeah.
And he didn't even apply.
Who's in? John Cicaldi, Nathan Rankin, Glenn Cicerich,
Yeah. How many spots do we have?
Glenn Hayden. At least Glenn will be fit.
They've just got to dust off the last downhill bike.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if it was like fan selected, how bad it would be. Because like when I did it that year, I was getting lobbied by like junior guys who were like lobbying for their friends to be on the team, like saying I'd left them out and stuff. Imagine how bad it's going to be.
We should have come more prepared for this, so we're going to try and get you to do it off the cuff, Red Dog and Kerry. You've got to reselect the 2023 team, except you can pick from every downhill rider in New Zealand's history, and you've got to pick
Are we
5 men and 5
are we
women.
actually looking for results, or are we just trying to send people that we want to go hang out with?
Nah, just your favourite team. Like the team that you think will best represent New Zealand on the day and at the after party.
Could you imagine
This is a tough one.
if we sent like the team we wanted to send? There would be great press around it. They probably wouldn't be going that fast anymore, but there'd be great PR.
I don't know if it'd be great. There would be PR, but
Yeah, it'd be a PR nightmare. But
who's your top 5, Kerry? I'm putting you on the spot.
Rankin, Cicaldi, Justin Leov, Sam Blenkinsop. They have to be born in the 80s at least.
at least.
Fuck, who else could we put in there?
Oh, horse. There's got to be horse.
Oh,
Come
horse,
on,
of
Kerry. It's
course.
got to be horse.
Horse,
Gotta
of
be
course.
horse.
That's a good 5.
Yeah.
That's a strong
That's my 5
five.
too.
Fucking
That's
hell,
my
that's a
5.
team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Bike NZ provides them an old van,
Can we
and they've got to travel there on
see
their
if
own
we can
accord.
find Craig Paddle's original van, Malcolm, the red van?
Yeah.
See if we can get Malcolm back in there.
No, they get a 95 high ace and it gets shipped to Levin.
Rankin lowers
and
it.
it gets a wrap and it gets lowered, and you're on your way, boys.
Sounds
Here's the
great.
C-notch.
Bike NZ will put it on a boat and they'll send that van it'll arrive in London, and then they've got to drive
Jesus,
it up.
if we
to-
thought we went sideways
Fort Bill.
before, we've gone far sideways now.
My travelling reserve is Byron.
With Punter as team manager.
Good luck.
Who's your mechanic?
Oh,
Jason Marsh.
yes. Yeah.
Marshy.
That's such a good trip, eh?
Oh, that would be
so good.
fantastic. That would be like, that'd be just like a dream thing, just like rent it and go hang out with them. We'll just rent
Yeah.
them. We'll pay
Oh.
their way and we'll just go hang out with them.
That'd be so fun.
Well, that's going to be the gorge trip. pretty
Speaking of
much.
people born in the 80s, I've just been scrolling through the results, trying to maybe bring this back slightly on track. But do we need to send Minar a tyre insert?
I don't know
It
what's
is-
going on
It
here.
has not been a good year. I have never
It's
seen
weird,
someone flat or tear tyres off as much as he has this season. It's nuts.
So he's not running an insert. That's correct.
Nah, there was definitely no insert in there.
But lots of them don't.
It's because that rear wheel is so far out behind his bottom bracket because he's put like 4 or 5 inches of extenders in it. It's just
When he's got a
leverage,
five,
you know,
a
there's
5
too
foot
much.
long chainstay.
Yeah,
He slapped that turn so hard, and you just saw it go. Like he just really squared it off, and it was all over. So
It's such a weird thing. Like it's just, and it's almost reoccurring with him. But like, it's uncommon. Like this just doesn't happen these days.
nah, you don't see people really peel tires off like that anymore, and so I don't know what's going on because there's it doesn't normally happen. Like I've had basically zero bad luck with a Maxis on a reserve for the last 4 years. So, don't know what's going on.
I've seen you peel one off the front once, but that was an unrelated issue.
Well, that was a bigger issue than just a tire.
Yeah. I saw in one of the maybe it was the pit bits on Vital or something else that Danny Hart Seeker flexes his tires on, uses a sealant, like what you'd seal up your bath in your bathroom, your shower.
Yeah, impressive.
So maybe that's the solution for Menard.
It's kind of like a tubular style.
no, he needs to run some bead lockers.
Oh, bead lockers, Moose.
Yeah, bead lockers. He's just got little bolts all the way around both sides.
I remember
those empties or those
I remember
reserves.
Doddsy at one point was trying to basically pioneer a tubular tire by gluing part of a tube into a downhill tire.
Oh, yeah.
It never got
innovator, eh?
Yeah, it never
He's an
got anywhere,
innovator.
but he was an innovator. I actually just
Didn't get any
looking
traction
at the
with
end of the results, it's very bizarre to see Jordan Williams in 72nd and Finn Isles in 73rd, but also 2 flat tyres from the teammates. So,
Yeah, that's a weekend for
Yeah.
that team.
I mean, Bruni's result wasn't terrible, but it's clear he wasn't going there for 4th place.
Nah.
That's weird, isn't it? Like Bruni gets 4th and you go.
Oh, but the bike looks so good. When you see it, it looks so good.
Yeah. He was just it. I mean, not that he was that far off. He was only 0.2 off being on the podium, but he was just that very minor tick back from those guys.
It's not what you're there for when you're Bruni.
Nah.
Speaking of good-looking bikes, massive power move from Rachel Atherton running just a black and gold bike.
It's up there. Oh, you're there to win.
That's
I feel like
power
she's
move.
won enough that she deserves.
Yeah.
She can have gold on.
Oh yeah, no, she has the gold. She's, she earned that. But
Yeah.
I have a question for you, because obviously, and we haven't even touched on it, but Kolb second, that bike is obviously very good,
Yeah.
and it's got the DW6 stuff from old Weagle. Is that bike an aluminium version away of being the next Sunday? If it was affordable, everyone would have one, eh?
Oh, yeah. If that was if you could buy a price point of that bike, that thing would be going through the roof. But obviously, that's the complete opposite of what they're trying to do with it. But
Yeah.
thing.
But that's kind of what's happening with the common
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like if you're a privateer and you want to go and buy a decent bike with a shop, you buy a base spec common style and put some decent suspension on it.
Yeah, they've got a great platform, great chassis, and
Good chassis.
it's affordable. It's obviously out there in mass enough to be able to just go and grab one. I mean, it's pretty hard to get hold of a downhill bike these days. It's actually not that easy to buy a decent one because they're just in such short supply.
It's not true, Kerry. If you look hard enough, you can find a pretty cheap 26.
Well, Nathan Sherritt is basically trying to give away his Lapierre to us at this point. So
Yeah, if you're Christchurch
That thing's
based
gonna-
and you want to take something off his hand, a Lapierre off his hands, I'm sure he'd be willing to donate.
I'd say most people who buy a can of Coke in the next couple of years will probably have bits of recycled Lapierre in it.
Oh, man. So George was our top Kiwi, right? Yeah, George Brannigan, 27th.
Good result.
Pretty solid. It was a
That is really solid.
pretty terrible
Really
conditions out there. So
Did he have? He would have had pretty good conditions or better.
nah, he was still in
Was it
pretty.
still pretty bad?
He was still pretty wet. Like it was raining pretty good. I mean, maybe it wasn't super bad down the bottom, but he actually lost some time down the end of the track as well. Like he went from a top 20 to back to 27th in the last split. So maybe he tucked.
Yeah.
Jordan's going to be pretty happy with that result.
I don't know.
I think
guess
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's all. I feel like George is still going to be looking for better than that, but still solid. And then obviously we
it's all right.
obviously we had the 1980s winner of Blenki in 32nd.
Yep.
Second place from 88 goes to Eric Ermish in 41st, so he had a good winning margin there for Blenki.
Yeah, nice margin.
Eddie Masters 47th. He had a pretty good crash. He went down pretty well in his finals run, so that was a bit of a step back for him. He was running in that top that mid 20s range before that, so he was going pretty well. Who else do we have? Toby Meek.
Toby Milk.
Toby looked like
On
he'd
your
had a bit of
Milky.
a bit of a rough top section. He kind of improved on his way down, so don't know too much. James McDermott 60th. Tahoto 71st. I've missed Brooke somewhere. It was Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke was 35th.
Oh, there we go.
35th.
I missed him because I was looking at year of births. He was 7th at the
That's what
speed
really
trap,
matters.
though. He had a top 10 at the speed trap.
And second at the last split, Brooke was. Which is like his thing now, because I think he's done that before.
Yeah. He's have you seen the legs on the man? He's got some power in him.
Trunks on it.
He's not afraid to lay the power down. I don't know if I have too much more from Worlds. Got anything bright? Any good ideas?
I don't know. Someone's got the coverage.
The coverage. The coverage is
I have
fucked.
I have some. The coverage was what the coverage is. I don't recall Fort William ever having really amazing cameras because it's just real long and the top's fucking.
No.
Oh, no, I'm fine with that coverage. I'm just disappointed with the lack of being able to watch it easily. in New
Oh
Zealand.
yeah, that's like an app away from being able to watch it, guys. I could have talked you through that. I could have rung you up like you're trying to get your mum to sign up to a Netflix account or something, you know?
Look, I'm 35. I'm not good with VPNs.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
guys.
look. I don't want to go and sit in a fucking internet cafe somewhere and have to route it through Mozambique so I can watch it on my
I know.
iPhone.
You
that
might get
like,
hacked on your
I
Facebook
just-
account.
and I've got to.
Yeah.
What have I got to? I've got to download like Internet Explorer to watch it on like a special browser.
It's all app based now. It's
Sorry.
quite easy.
I do I had multiple messages on the OTP Instagram of like, how do I watch it? What's happened to the coverage? It was on and then it stopped. Why isn't it working? And I'm like, fuck, I'm not running the coverage.
Oh,
guys.
let KB just go to the media
No,
team.
No, this is my point though, Kerry, is that we've got to get
We're the
our act
authority,
together.
apparently.
This time next year, we've got to deliver the coverage to Kiwi
Should we
race
try and
fans. I think we have to take responsibility.
buy the
for this.
rights? Start the GoFundMe now.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no, we'll look at Red Dog. We'll look at how we'll steal the
Oh,
rights.
okay.
Let's be clear about that.
Whoa. Let's not say steal.
Sorry, did I say steal? I mean, you got to be.
The one I watched, because I think there was a few different commentaries, but I just watched it on GCN, and they had Rick and
Neil
Neil
Donahue.
Donahue.
it was
And it was
great.
Did
having
you
the
listen
Don.
to that, Kerry?
Yeah.
And there was very little enthusiasm, right?
Nah, neither
And
of them
Pip
were
was
that
like,
excited.
Who is this Neil guy? And I just kept having to tell her, like, Pip, the guy's a legend. Like, he was an Earth One. Like, you should see him shredding that Azonic. And then I started, like, singing the Stone Roses song. No, it's not. It's New Rose by the Dam.
I got a
right?
new
Is
rose.
it?
I got a good.
Yeah, and, like, she was just like, what are you on about? Like,
His name's Neil.
Neil.
he's the Don, Pip.
The
Like,
Dawn.
come on.
Neil.
Yeah. He sends it. He has
The
this
Dom
signature
Macawan.
intro that I've always loved in Earth One, and he just comes in and sends it to flat off that kind of like fadeaway, and then he comes in just doing some incredible feet up
Yeah.
drifts, and the Don is forever
Slays
in
those
mountain
turns.
bike history.
So good.
And that Azonic does not fold underneath
Nah.
him, which is shocking.
But
But he-
apparently that doesn't hold any water when he's commentating like 20 years later for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't.
Other notable...
I skipped through a
notable
lot
thing
at the
here.
start because there was a lot of filler at the start, and so I didn't actually know who was commentating with Rick for a long time until I finally heard
Oh, you
him
couldn't
say,
work it out.
"Nah, it took me a while."
Did you watch Dakota Norton's run?
Yes,
Can't remember what it was. Did you hear the Kevin Windham reference?
yes, out of the gate, straight out of the gate, they're like running the 14 like Kevin Windham.
And he said he had the hair? Like,
Yeah, the hair out the back of the helmet. I was
it
like,
was
this.
so out of left field, eh? I was like,
Yeah, that was
Weird.
a bizarre one, a real bizarre one. And they're like, he's running the tall handlebars like a dirt biker. I was like, what
Oh,
the
man.
fuck?
it was out there.
I reckon someone's had a chat to him in the pits and just gotten a whole lot of
Yeah.
material to run with.
Dirt
Hey,
bikes are relatable.
I've got a rant here. Fuck hard.
Go on.
Oh, don't start me. Don't start me. Go
Why?
on, Kerry. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm willing
Fuck
to hear this.
hardline.
Why would they run that race like mid-season, right before World Champs, and then
Stupid.
our best female racer goes out with injures her ankle,
Ridiculous.
can't race World
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
and maybe it's not Red Bull's fault. Maybe it's what the fuck are the athletes doing there, racing this hardline race
Yeah.
before World Champs? Like, come on,
I
are you a
agree.
free rider or are you a racer?
What's even weirder about that is they made it even less focused on the racing.
Well, they
this
didn't
year.
even
Yep.
race.
So like, yeah, there's that. But like, the whole thing was that they got a whole bunch of like free ride Instagram guys to come along. Presumably, they just got whoever had the biggest Instagram
I
account.
think that's how it goes.
to try
That's
and
what
get
it's
some
there
coverage
for,
Like
though.
they
It's just-
they went the Instagram angle.
It's
It's
just for
Red Bull.
clout.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
not
you can
down.
go
shitty
along,
clout though.
you can send your big jump, and you can get a photo in that real long camo jacket thing.
Yeah.
That's what you're there
And
for.
then you can fuck up some like real old hotel and then be banned from going back there like they did last year.
Yeah.
I
I don't get the whole thing, like, because it's not, the
Oh, good.
racing's not good. Like,
They
it's
can-
not a good race event.
If they want to do it at the end of the year, that's fine. I probably won't watch anyway, but at least it won't injure athletes who should be racing world champs.
Well, hey, look, at least Red Bull still got Crankworks.
Oh, is that still around? Yeah.
That's still a thing.
Actually, to be
Yeah.
fair, I did watch quite a bit of the Crankworks. Was it 1199 track that they raced
Yep.
in?
Yep.
Because that track looked fucking good. That looked legit.
I've got a
Yep.
question for you, Kerry. When they opened that track not long before the race, and they referred to it as a World Cup track.
Mm.
Can you call something a World Cup track if it's never held a World
Well,
Cup?
there is.
Unless maybe the caveat is that it's been built for a World
Yeah,
Cup.
see, I mean, there's a track in this Queenstown bike park in the Skyline called World Cup. And so
Yeah, but
it's like a people. I know,
That
but
doesn't
it's the
count.
same sort of thing, but it's as calling it a World Cup track. If they're going to run a World Cup on it, that's fine. But otherwise, it's just a downhill track.
no, but this like in the press release, like whatever came out when they opened
Yeah.
it, it's the 1199, it's named after Stevie and everything. But they're calling it the new Whistler World Cup track. It's like, unless they're saying there's going to be a
Yeah.
World Cup there, I don't want to hear people calling it
No.
a World Cup track. Like,
Hey, do you know who's pushing pretty hard for a World Cup? Coronet Peak. Have you seen that?
Are they?
Coronet Peak is
Yeah.
pushing real hard for 14
Yeah.
new trails.
They've
up there.
got some big stuff going on down there, and apparently
Big
they're
plans.
supposedly them and Christchurch are also pushing for a World Cup. So
Oh, sick.
I would probably prefer it to be at Coronet Peak, but it'd
Oh,
be
Matt, can you imagine that?
it'd be on a different track. So I've seen like there was a thing in was like the Queenstown Star or something, I think is their local newspaper. There was an article about it, and it had like a map of projected tracks, and so the World Cup track would be on the rider's left going down the hill. So it wouldn't be like to what the current one is.
Yeah, okay.
It would have to be a new track.
Yeah, you'd have to go build
you
something
couldn't-
new.
you
I mean, that
couldn't
old
just-
one is fucking... What did we first... That's 18 years old. That current track can legally drink.
Still good. Still
I mean,
good.
it's still...
Yeah, you could.
It's
can
still
bottle
great,
that now.
but how long before your handlebars are going to be below the tussocks from where the original track is? Because it's just... There are sections of it where they pretty much are.
Yeah, you run a World Cup down there, and they're on the bedrock after a while.
So
No,
when are you
it's-
moving, Kerry, to like Queenstown or parking up for the year or
Um,
Christchurch? You take your pick, whatever one you want to quit your job and move to. It's fine.
should I try race one? If we get a World Cup in New Zealand, should I try and show up? I don't even know how do you enter a World Cup these days? How do you get points? Shall I ask
No,
Caleb?
you were gonna quit the job and you're gonna park up for a year
this
and you were gonna
before.
win. That was the whole idea.
Only if it's on Kaka.
Yeah, okay.
The OTB is taking Kerry to a World Cup.
Masters World Champs next year in Cairns, though. There's been some
And
some
the
chatter
year
about boys going there. I've even had one Nathan Rankin text me looking for a downhill bike after he saw that. So you know it's on.
Masters 3, eh?
Just
So-
last night, I actually asked Pip whether or not she thought I could win the title.
Did she say no?
She said no, and I
Which-
said, "Do you reckon?"
Did she specify which
And I said, "Do
title?
you think KB could win?" She said, "Oh yeah." Oh, come on.
Thanks, Pip. Great. Yeah, I don't know. There'll be some Australian slayers coming out though, out of the woodwork. I guarantee it. There's still some fast guys over there. They'll all be showing up.
If you're a listener and you have a holiday house, is it Cairns? Sort of near there. Wouldn't mind like a view of the ocean, maybe. I don't know.
We're not
Pool.
fussy. If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah, hit us up.
Did we talk about this on one of the previous podcasts that we're going to run like an OTB?
Yeah,
like,
I think
fan
that was
trip?
the plan, that we would just basically make it so that they pay for us and they get to come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Because clearly, why would you not?
At the 26-inch world champs.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did already have a volunteer to come mechanic for us.
Did we?
Yeah, so we're
Is
on.
it Hatton's guy?
No, it was Luke Millington, our only other 26-inch competitor.
Yeah.
So Luke was down to come
Perfect. He
hang out.
spins the wrenches on some retro stuff. It's great.
He knows. That's good. I don't have really much left to take out of this race or to give our listeners. I feel like we've. Oh, go on then.
I do. Red Dog Unit numbers.
Yes. This is dear to your heart.
This could be edited out. We'll see. We'll see how you go.
Mate, most of this could be edited out. So, for our listeners, what our listeners probably don't realise is the OTP podcast has been tracking. Well, actually, I'll go back a step. There's a bit of conjecture about what the hierarchy is in the syndicate, because there's some heavy hitters in and around that team, both current.
I am
riders
100%
and
not
support,
involved with this or have any partake of it.
This is not endorsed.
This is not endorsed by Kieran Bennett.
Yeah, it's endorsed.
I haven't
by
seen
Red
the
Dog.
list yet.
Who,
Yeah, I'm about to give it to
Red
you.
Dog, who owns
So-
two Santa Cruzes.
So yeah, there's,
Fact.
there's so much conjecture about what the hierarchy is that we've done the syndicate power rankings according to earnings over the last this current financial
Hey,
year.
you wouldn't have seen though, Chris.
And
You wouldn't have seen
top
Chris.
15.
Cecil was back on the
Yeah.
weekend.
There's Kathy Cecil's back.
Yeah, no, she's on the payroll.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
confusing.
She's not as high up the payroll as you'd expect.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
You two
So
are painful.
top of the power rankings.
This is my number one favourite conversation to have with KB.
Top of the power rankings,
Yeah.
according to his contract, is
Has to be.
unsurprisingly Greg, right? So he's contractually obliged to be top of the power
even if
rankings.
it's just by $1.
Says it in his contract. Yeah. Number 2 is Jackson. They just keep paying him more to keep him as him. surprisingly, and we had to do a bit of digging to find this. This is in the Panama Papers. We found this. Roscop is actually the third highest earner in the syndicate, despite having left the company. He keeps shares in the
how
Cayman
far
Islands
back does
shell
this
company.
go?
Greg's mechanic in fourth, Jackson's mechanic in fifth, Petey in sixth. He didn't negotiate hard enough when he retired. Jackson's dad in seventh. Interestingly enough, Jackson's sister, after a win at the Canadian Open, has jumped into eighth. She's on the payroll now after that result. Jackson's mum also just there as support for.
I believe
Jackson
Jackson's
and
sister is
sister.
actually
Nina
employed by
in
the union as part of their team.
Oh, is she actually?
I
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean, look,
That's cool.
you'll discover shortly,
She's good.
Kerry, that the payroll is it gets a bit grey area. So Nina in 10th,
Can we just
surprising
go
one,
top 10?
11th. Geordie Courts is 11th in the power rankings because Greg keeps him on the payroll just to fuck with everyone else's shit. Rat Boy is 12th. He's still getting royalties for launch videos. Cessla in 13 because she's still got access to the free cash box. Rennie, now this one's a surprising one. Nathan Rennie is actually still on the payroll for the syndicate because he's working for Pon as a standover man for stores that don't pay their bills. And 15th, it's Laurie because he only gets paid if he wins.
This is the dumbest list of all time.
Oh, I'm really laughing because it's so fucking stupid. Oh my god!
Oh, no, it's good. It's really good to clear the air on that, Chris. Thank you.
I can't
There's
believe
my
you put
contribution.
that much effort into ranking the top 15 people that you've decided on the team.
I didn't decide.
That was research.
Pon's a publicly listed company. They've got to release this shit.
Actually, one thing I'd like...
You know
One
what's going to
thing
be fun? Next week we're going to
One
do
thing
pick
I'd like to
lists.
say...
You're going to be really, really surprised how much of Jordan Williams' salary actually goes to Locke.
One thing we haven't touched on, though, Jackson notably was not there because of his appendix. What do you reckon? Would he have topped it? Really hard to say.
Just impossible to say. When Charlie Hatton and Andy Cole went 1-2. Although, to be fair, Andy Cole won a World Cup this year. But, yeah, very hard to say. He would have been...
In the mix, for sure. Has he been good there previously?
I think Jordan beat him last year, off the top of my head. He would have been
surely.
good. I'm sure he would have been good, but yeah, who knows? He would have been pretty close to the end down the hill because I think it was off UCI ranking was the...
Yeah.
So he would have been maybe like second last down the hill. So...
Because Laurie won the British...
Yeah, he won the
championship,
national
right?
round, the BDS there.
Do you think you would have had him beating Laurie?
Yeah, judging by the season so far and your power rankings that you just gave us. Although those were salary-based power rankings.
Yeah. It's not reflective
that's
of
just
actual
where the money
performance.
goes.
Yeah.
I reckon that would have been tight, though. I reckon it would have been tight.
Yeah, I
with
reckon
him
he
and
would have
Laurie.
been. He would have been in there. He would have been in that top 5 mix. It had to be.
Yeah.
I would say
Wouldn't beat T-Roy, though. Wouldn't have beaten T-Roy. That's my guy.
Well, then he couldn't have gone top 5 if he wouldn't have been T-Roy.
Yeah, that's right.
There was 2 guys in the Australian team, and I have no idea who they were. It's the Australian. Just think back to the Australian team when it was like Sam Hill, Nathan Rennie, Chris Kavarik. Who else was in there in those days? Bryn Atkinson, Mick Hanna. There was like 7 guys who were basically just about impossible to get out of being in there. And now I'm like, who's this guy? It's changed. It's probably
funny how it goes in peaks and troughs, eh?
But then I
Every
looked and I was
country almost
like,
does it except France.
yeah. I was like, there's actually some pretty good guys there.
Can you imagine how busy the Mountain Bike Australia complaints email address would have been when your world champs were on and those boys were together?
Oh,
They would have had a policy. Just look, guys, go to World Champs, represent
messy.
the country. Just don't wear
So
that kit.
messy.
You
those
can wear
guys.
it. You can only wear it when you're racing. Like nothing else. Like
Please don't be associated with Australia afterwards.
Yeah.
Actually, another
Thanks very much.
notable missing rider, basically the new kind of king of Fort William, was Emery, obviously out with injury, who has dominated there in recent years. So there's another guy who...
and in bad weather too. I think he's been really good there as well.
Yeah. Man, I watched...
So maybe the guys got let off the hook.
Yeah, I watched T-Bone Umbrella's GoPro helmet cam from his race. It's on YouTube. They are going so fast. Man, it is just...
Oh.
It is rapid. The speed that he was hitting shit, I was like, good lord. But it only shows until his crash. I guess it wasn't probably that much exciting show from there down. But, yeah, he was hauling ass. Because he was, like, sitting in third before he crashed. So he was on that same pace.
He was on the pace, yeah. Yep.
Absolute mental.
Do you think Nina obviously dominates there as well almost, or she has been really good there?
She has been really good there. But
and she was on the pace.
Yeah.
That would have been a really interesting battle, I think.
Do you know what I'd love to see is, I was just looking at the average speed. So the men's average speed was 38 k's an hour, which is pretty fast.
Yeah.
I'd love to see, like, you know, obviously there's fast and slow sections. I'd love to be able to see just like a live speed the whole way down. Because some of that top stuff, they are hauling ass.
Oh,
like, there is so much fast stuff in there. But then, when you actually got footage of the top, man, it's pretty boring until after they get past the boardwalks.
I think one of the other things with the footage that probably doesn't do it justice is they're almost always shooting footage from quite a long way back so they can cover a lot of the track. You know, like if you ever watch a motor race or something, the camera's at trackside, right? And you see how fast things are going. It'd be fucking cool to see some of that in the footage. I mean, it'd be hard to do at a lot of the tracks they've got, but you know, you just don't get the perspective.
I think not having trees in that to go past, you lose a bit of perspective as well. You kind of lose that speed of seeing people go past it. Yeah. No, good race. Another good race. I couldn't even tell
Another good race.
Couldn't even tell you what the next race is. What's the next World Cup, Red Dog? Do you remember?
No.
Nah, neither. We'll work it out when we get there. Chris is going to punch it in.
The final,
I'm
the
Googling
final
now.
thing.
So,
The final thing. Apparently, they announced that Fort William won't be on the schedule next year.
Whoa.
After the race.
That's
and
a change.
There's all sorts of rumour around why, but potentially it's because it doesn't fit the mould for.
It's too long.
Like in terms of track anymore, it's too long. Yeah.
Yeah. Mont Saint Anne will be the next on the chopping block.
Don't you dare take that icon.
Don't you dare take that away from us, UCI.
Yeah. They could start it halfway up the hill like they did that year.
Oh, and run a 1:59 track.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Make that real dangerous jump at the bottom.
Maybe what they're going to do at Fort William is bring the dozers in and just build some huge jumps, and it will be the new. It'll be a new hardline race. Yep. It'll just be massive jumps, 4 or 5 minutes.
Straight jump. So they can't. It's actually 3 minutes, but they just go straight that whole top piece until they hit like Deer Gate,
all the way down. Now you can even miss that. It's just going to run underneath the gondola the whole way, and it's going to be like a straight rhythm for 4 minutes.
Straight rhythm. Yeah, straight into the under the arch. Boom, we're done.
Yeah, Fort William straight rhythm. Rolls off the tongue.
And just to round out this podcast, because we have to mention it every time. Given the conditions, Hill 5-10 seconds up. You reckon?
I'd probably give it like an 8.5. I reckon.
Yeah, me too.
What about Kovarik? This is probably about the conditions that he put that 14-second decimation in back in 2001.
Well, I mean, yep.
Or 2002.
It would have been, surely would have been up there.
Yeah, 14.02 seconds.
Can you imagine seeing a 14
imagine it would be madness now.
Like
even seeing like a 3-second gap now is huge.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah. One day it might come back.
Savage.
It'll be when
one day
when Laurie finally wins your love, Chris, and he puts in a 3-second win somewhere, then you might respect him.
I don't not love Laurie, and I do respect him. I mean, I'd have to be a bit of an asshole if I didn't respect anyone who was racing a World Cup. There's other reasons that I'm an asshole, but we won't get into those. I just like getting a reaction from you, Kerry.
Yeah, you guys are on thin ice. If I had other people to do this with, you guys would be cut.
That's on you, man. That's not. That's,
that's my limited friend base. If it's not you two or Lester, I don't have much further to go.
Slide into
Kerry.
KB's DMs if you'd like to be a co-host.
Yeah, Kerry, if you can find someone else to sit with you for an hour and a half on a mundane.
Not even my wife wants to. Oh god.
Yeah, my wife pays me to do this,
she's
so
the real
she can go
OTB
have some time for
sponsor.
herself.
Oh well.
That's right.
I think that's a wrap for another week. Don't forget to go get yourself some new Smith Rhythm mountain bike goggles, or throw yourself in the chance to win a set with a nice, very nice on our speak pipe.
How long do they have to do that?
I don't know, just as how long do they have to do it?
Yeah, like
Jesus,
we'll do a date.
When are we doing another episode?
We'll draw it next time we do an episode, right? So you've got
there'll be at least a couple of weeks. It kind of depends when the next race is, I guess.
Chris, did you find that out? Oh, hang on.
No, I didn't. All I found was when the Polish
four-cross national champs.
Oh yeah, when are they on? That would be good.
Yeah.
I think Val Norda's the next.
Yeah, it is on the 24th and 27th of August, apparently.
All right, so we've got a few weeks. We've got a few weeks to work it out. So yeah, but get onto it. Get in early, get it done. Otherwise, you'll forget.
Yeah, get in early.
And quick, just clarifying question on that: is it nice, very nice, or nice, very nice?
No, it's not just nice, very nice.
If they want to go the whole latest garment, down with it.
Yep. Yeah, you can even do the Sam Hill part if you like.
Looks pretty good in that bad boy.
Yeah.
You can do that bit if you like.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and everyone else is listening to us. So on that note, we won't hold you any longer, but do go buy some kit from troyledesigns.co.nz and use OTB podcast at checkout. Save yourself 15%. Otherwise, thanks again, boys, and thanks to you people that have actually made it all the way through to here. Congratulations, you've made it to the end, and we'll sign off. See you next time.
All right.
Thanks very much.
What's up? I come from the land of down on I can't hear you. What was that? I can't hear you. I let it be like John Lennon, the anti-serum that you don't get for poisonous venom. Read the label carefully, I'm only here for the show. I love hip-hop too much to let you feed my ego. In the key of F-U-C-K, Y-O-U. I mean, why do I owe you if you're not helping me through? I mean, why do I owe you if you're obstructing my view? Success is not my castle, just a house that's brand new. You see, I irrigate the culture, give it shape like a sculpture. Still complicated, rock like I'm supposed to. B-L-I-T-Z like my DJ. Rock to the rhythm like you rock to what he plays.